Once you let go, I don't think it will.
Okay.
Do I have lipstick on my teeth?
Oh, can you turn the whole thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you do that, it takes.
I used to dry shit, so I never know.
Mm-hmm.
Is it working?
It will.
Right there. Think we're good.
All right. And we are going in. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, this is Amanda Munchies, and we are live on The Bud Show for Season 3, Episode 16. Look at all that organization because of the women behind the scenes making this shit go, just for note. Thank you to them. So, really excited, as I am with every single show, because I start every single show for the past 3 seasons with the word how excited I am. So I'm equally excited tonight, Meredith.
I'm excited to
Yes, to have you on. And we are going to be talking about holistic healing, which I think is probably needed now more than ever in the midst of crazy.
I could not disagree. I agree with you 150%. Like, everyone needs that self-care right now.
That shit. Yes.
We need to tap into taking care of ourselves, right? Like, that's what it's about, is what can we do for ourselves to stay grounded and sane in these times.
Because it's different for everybody, right? And I think that's the key that a lot of people don't understand, is that this craziness that is happening, this trauma, is happening very different for every single one of us. And it's not our place to say how another person is handling it or should be handling it, because we don't know what they're really going through. Is that fair to say, Meredith?
I'm so blessed that you said that, honestly, because I feel that people, right? But it's true, like, people think that they have a right to judge someone for what that person's making a decision with their child. And, you know, you don't walk in their shoes. Everyone has a path, and just respect that path, and you'll be respected back. That's how I look at life. Like,
yes.
If you aren't hurting anyone, do what the hell you want.
Yes,
right?
yes. And raise whatever freak flag behind the bedroom door you want, by the way.
We were just talking about
Who cares? So, as we get started tonight, I am most excited about the fact that you have brought your beautiful instruments. So we have some singing bowls, we have some tuning forks, right?
We do.
Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, and I want you to tell me about these things in just a minute. And then I don't know that our guests can see, but over here we have a beautiful gong, right?
We have my symphonic gong that I became bonging gongs over. So in 2018, when I thought I was just going to do some extracurricular credits to keep my yoga active, right? You have to do that when you want to be with Yoga International. So anyways, I went to this sound class, and the moment I heard the gong, I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing for the rest of my life. Fuck this shit, I'm out of here. And I sold my house that month, and I sold pretty much everything I own. As you know, over the years, I'm down to absolutely only what fits in a trailer and my instruments. This is the most the most dear to me, right? So am I able to play it a little? I feel like we talk about her.
Yeah.
You need to hear her, right? Like,
yes.
It is her because she's so beautiful. And she has angels.
Stand. Stay grounded. So if you're listening right now, put your feet to the floor.
So I have all kinds of instruments. I only have a few here today. And some people hear that and they walk out of the room. And other people, like yourself, you know, it hits. And that goes back to you even saying that everybody's different, how COVID affects everyone, how the instruments, right? Like it's all about frequencies and matching the frequencies to what our body needs. And we all need something different, right?
I wasn't even in a crying mood, by the way. Like, I'm not even sad.
It's because of me.
Yeah, no, but this is obviously energy or something that needs to come out too. So this is good. So I'm thankful. So in front of you, you have some singing bowls, right? Can you tell us a little bit about what these are and I don't know anything that you can educate our audience on?
I can. So these are Tibetan singing bowls. Some people call them Himalayan. however you want to call them. So this one happens to be an older one. This is considered an antique one. It's, I think, 250, 260 years old. And it does have a beautiful sound. What you're hearing, and the reason that these resonate with people so much, are the overtones. If you take a listen. You don't hear just one note, right? You hear what's called an overtone. And it's the same principle as working with the gong and many other sound instruments. Is in the overtones are where we find the frequencies that our cells are looking for. It allows us to relax. And a lot of what this is honestly just bringing our body to a state of relaxation. And kind of to jump into the cannabis part of it, that's what got me so interested in becoming Bong and Gongs, is that I think when working with people in the spiritual realm and in the yoga studios, often there was this thought that no, you can't meditate, you can't get deep into it if you're on cannabis. And and I'm not going to agree or disagree. I think that everybody has a different state of meditation they want to get to. But if you can't sit still, mama, fuck meditating, right? Like, yes. Let's be real. Like, maybe you can do a walking meditation, but you're still not going to get at that state. So let's introduce what does help people feel less pain. If you have back pain, there's nothing wrong from where I come from to treat your back pain with cannabis and be able to friggin' lay down and let the gong help you on your self-healing journey. Yes. So that's, and I feel that way with everything I do. I also instruct yoga one-on-one in groups, and I feel the same way. There are people who think yoga is horrendous, and when I started to talk to them and be like, what's wrong with friggin' laying there and doing this? Like, why don't you want to do that? Like, fuck, that's fun. So good. And they're intimidated. I'm like, there's nothing. I can't do
People
most of those.
People are definitely intimidated by it. People are very intimidated. It's very, very intimidating. I think when you picture yoga, when most people picture yoga in their head, it's this image, and whether it's a human or just a silhouette of a perfectly fit girl who's in this perfectly downward dog, and she can kick her leg up to the ceiling and put it back down, and the rest of us feel like crap because we can't do that shit.
No.
I'm just saying that's what happens to me, and it even deterred me from getting started. But A, I love yoga. B, I also learned there's other ways to do yoga. So I don't even like downward dogs because I have a bad wrist. So with a bad wrist, downward dogs aren't good. So with Meredith, we can adjust my yoga to whatever I want, whether it's standing or laying down or whatever. And I think that's the other thing, is there's all types of yoga, right?
Right, and I'm trained in many different types. There's yin yoga, which is generally what Amanda and I started practicing during the whole COVID thing. You have your bubble. This girl's in my bubble. I'm like, I friggin' need someone to do yoga with often. But you have the yin posture. So where you do one posture for 7-8 minutes and you let your body, it basically melts in. There's the nidra where you really just lay there and let me talk through it. There's the hot yoga where, let's burn some calories. So there's everything, and there's something for everyone, but
hot yoga not for me.
Right, no.
Nidra, love.
Right.
I love it. It's so good.
And for me, it just depends on the day, but you've seen my postures. My postures ain't, I don't look like that, and no one does, I don't think, except very few.
There are a few.
There are a few, but you know what? Yoga is the union between mind and body. That's exactly what it means. And so I try to look at it as it's about me, right? Yoga's not about the people in the room. This is about me, and having people in the room helps that energy be raised. Yeah. Because everyone's working on themselves, and if everyone's focused on that, that's raising the conscious energy.
I feel like right now, in this time, in addition to obviously 2020 and everything like that, but I feel like because of social media, specifically, and I'm going to totally point and blame it specifically at social media, I feel like there is this need to get this likes and attentions and not really understand about that deeper connection or it being about us. I think we're so worried about what the world thinks and how many likes we have and all this other stuff that we've almost forgotten to stop to say, what do I need? What is it I want? What is my life about? And for me, I'm really starting to dig deep into this journey of what is my rat race on this planet about?
I think that's 100% true, right? And I think that it even goes more than that. I think that it isn't, sometimes people don't even value themselves enough to question what is it that I need. They value other likes more than themselves, and that breaks my heart when I meet people who are like, I don't have time. And I'm like, you don't have time? Like, do you really not have time? I mean, I know people who don't. I know people homeschooling 3 children at home definitely don't have time. You know what? Great. Let me give you time. Let me come over. Let's work something out. Let me give them yoga for an hour, and you go take an hour in the other room. As you know, I've done that. So, I mean, but I think a lot of times you're right. People with social media, it's all about that image. And you know what? Let's all be real. We have shit ass fucking days. Like, I can be the most chill person, but I fucking go off the rails sometimes. Like, it's just life.
Too.
Let's be real about it.
Right.
And you put that on social media, and they don't get the likes, and then they don't do it, and they think everything's perfect. And
even today, Liz, and I'm just going to take it a step further, because again, I think it goes back to that healing of loving ourselves. But this, the filters on social media where we just change our faces, and young girls, and I'm really going to call it out, young girls are doing this and really wanting to be somebody different than they are. And it's just like, I am so relieved when I see authentic people.
So when you see my wrinkles, you're like, yeah, she's got her wrinkles.
I got them too.
And she's got her eyes too.
I got them too, though. So like they're
It's
there.
real.
I got the great, like, so I just think that authentic, again, I think, for me, I just try to find, and I like being surrounded by authentic people and people who maybe are trying to take that same journey of figuring shit out. And it might not be my journey of figuring shit out, but just that journey in general of saying, I'm willing to look at myself and do that work, because that's fucking hard, right?
That work never ends,
No.
right? Like, can we talk about that? Like,
No.
I thought, like,
No.
8 years ago when I started delving in, right? I mean, I thought, I had done counseling and all that, but I was really delving in, and I thought, oh, I figured it out. I got all the root. Fuck that. And then it just, like, hit right, like, you know exactly now. And then it's like a spiral, and it's the deeper. I used to say it's an onion, but it's not, because you're going in.
I was going to say the onion, but you're right. Well, and it's so, again, it can be so overwhelming as well, right? Like, even that diving into yourself and trying to figure out, like, why the fuck do I believe what I believe? And, oh, shit, that's not a good belief. And, like,
why do I care if they why do I care when the picture I put on there, honestly, so I'm the opposite of people. Like, I take a picture and then my family needs, or like today, I have to point out, oh wait, my shirt's inside out, or my boob's hanging out, like.
Or I put a wrong day on a post because I'm horror, spell name wrong, by the way. I'm the worst at this
But
stuff.
like stuff like that, and to me, I laugh at it. And I know people that are horrified and just they can't believe it. How you go out without makeup, and I'm like, yeah, like I was like, I have lipstick. That's what I'm wearing anymore, because I can't see well enough to do eye makeup. It's not wearing.
Like, that's about all I do. I do some eye makeup. I do.
But no, you do.
I do.
But you know what? Everyone's got their thing that makes them feel good.
Yeah.
But it's knowing that it doesn't have to be all the time.
Yeah.
And it's whatever makes
sure.
you feel right. That's all that matters. Is if
I mean,
you're
I'm
happy.
having like 2 showers a week right now, and really, that's mostly demanded because I might go out on a lake a day. Otherwise, it'd probably be 1 a week. My poor husband. I love the women in the room who are all laughing and raising their hands like they're all with me.
Until I moved down to Phoenix when I was living up north, I'm telling you, like every few days, right? Like now that I'm down here, it's a little different.
I like showers though, and the washing my hair is one thing, but I just feel like right now, what is the point? I mean, I am legit like home a lot. Like why? Why?
You know what? For me, it isn't the shower; it's the bath. It's the total.
Oh, I have a bath.
Yeah.
I had a bath. I
I
would
don't
take
have
a
a bath
bath.
either.
That's what
I
it
have.
is.
But I have Fizz-Free bath bombs to use, and I have Gaia Provides bath bombs to use. I have bath bombs, girl, and I can't use any of them. I need a bath. That's my next house. We'll have a bath.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate that way.
You are. That's not in your trailer, right?
No,
Okay.
no, that's the funny. Yeah,
So
so
I
I have
have a
like
bath in your trailer.
No, in the wing of the house that I have my office in. I call that. It's my ex-in-law's home that I actually work out of my son's.
What do you call him? Sorry, I taught somebody your word.
Husband.
I
So
taught
my
somebody that word.
ex-husband.
They loved it.
And you know what? I learned it from
Or
someone
husband.
else. I did not create it, but it's so true. Like my husband, he's one of my best friends, right? Like
he was a husband. He was a husband.
yeah.
Isn't that a great term? A husband.
And you know, you have children together. Like you don't want to keep calling them ex. Like it's weird to say my ex. in-laws, but on a
Because
show like
husband
this,
is
I
such
say
a
it.
nicer term.
Yeah.
Ex just sounds like so
Negative, right?
Yeah,
And-
a husband is just like, oh, you know, he was my husband. Now he ain't.
No, he ain't. no, he ain't. Yeah.
All right, so and I'm just gonna call you out on this
Call
in
me
a
on
positive
anything.
way.
Oh, call me on anything.
So
It's not
in your trailer that you live in, right?
Yes. Yes. So I have
a pullable mobile trailer, right?
Well, let me. Yeah. So I have a. It's very special. It's an.
By your toilet.
Huh? Yeah, you can tell about my toilet. No,
You tell
I
about
am
your
so
toilet.
proud. So I'm so proud about my trailer. First of all, I always wanted a teeny home, right? So I
This is
started.
holistic healing, though. This is
This is
taking
holistic.
care of yourself.
So yeah, this actually can I tell the story? It's a cool
Yes.
story.
Yes.
So at one point I had 2 homes. I had a Jeep. I had a car. I had a walk-in closet bigger than this room, no fucking shit. And I wasn't happy, but I had all that.
You had
right?
a corporate job.
I had a corporate job.
Where you were like a boss.
I was
right?
a boss. Like my son used to be like, "You're the boss. You can take the day off," and I'd be like, "Oh, you're fucking right. I can't." You know, like it was, but it was stressful as all hell. It was not healthy. And something I do with my life coaching clients is the first thing I have them do is I say, "Well, what are your life values? Let's figure out if you're living to your core values." And when I did that with myself, I thought I was living to my core values. I was happy, I was this, I was that, and I thought I was healthy, right? Like, why wasn't I healthy? I'm doing hot yoga 2 times a day, 3 hours a day, whatever. But I wasn't healthy because of stress in my job. So since then, I went from that to an apartment to a condo, put the rest of my stuff in a storage unit. I now...
She got rid of everything. She dumpster
Everything.
like shit, like
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Can I throw you under the bus now?
Yes.
So I...
Me too. I'm a hoarder. Is that what you're gonna throw me under the bus?
So this is actually funny. So I'm at my storage unit in May or in April, and I had ended it with a very long relationship with a dear man. And so my husband and my son went up with me because like here's the last of my shit, and I'm like I gotta get rid of it. And like I had people like everyone in my family, my best friend, everyone's dead, right? So for the most part, not everyone, but for the most part, so I had all these pictures. I'm like. I started dumpster everything because COVID started. I couldn't go and donate. Understand it wasn't because I didn't want to. So I dump all these pictures and I post a picture and someone posts, "Don't throw those away," you know. And Amanda's like, "She'll bring them down for you." I'm like the hell I will. I just got rid of those memories. Like I'm free. I am so free of this energy, and it felt so great. And here's the best part about that story. So. Then I had no home, I had no belongings, and I'm like, I was supposed to go across the country, right, doing pet sitting and house sitting, and I had some sound gigs, and then I was going to end up in Massachusetts about a month ago. I would have been in Massachusetts for the rest of the year. And so, anyways, I was like, well, what am I going to do now?
Funny.
Right, the world works funny. So I'm like, all right, I need to find a home, I need to find a trailer. And I found this 1973, which is an Airstream, like way better than an Airstream. They beat out Airstream that year. And it's been renovated, and I traded my Jeep 1 for 1 and didn't pay $1. So that's my home. I still don't own for a home, right? I still have a vehicle.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's been pretty incredible. And then to make a less of a carbon footprint, and so I can be completely independent. Because I need to be able to take my trailer places, I got a compost toilet, and I now. That's what she was saying. Can I talk? I'm like, hell yeah, man! Like I pee in a bucket, and I'm proud of it. And currently I'm not using the other part of the toilet just because I'm in town. But when I was living up north, because I was on the ranch for a while, yeah, I was using the compost part. I empty it out weekly, and it's so easy, and it's so low maintenance, and it's so much better for the world, right?
Someday someone is gonna have to do something with all of our shit, literally, like our shit,
Well,
our
we can
as our
grow
women,
stuff.
all of our feminine products that we leave, like.
But now they have underwear for that. Like I wish I don't get my period anymore.
Things are
God,
great.
I wish I
Things
had
are great.
that. Yeah.
Things are great. Things are great. If you don't know, ladies, things are great. They're period panties. They are amazing. You don't have to wear a pad or a tampon. They are great. Thanks. THINX. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
All right, so let's get back to your wonderful instruments here
Yes.
real quick. So what is the second little bowl? See how we get off a topic and background.
Yeah.
So,
So
wait,
I'm like,
before we go though, so I want you to teach a little bit because I feel like someone at home might be interested in doing some of this. So there's some things to know or not know. So like you can't cup the bowl. You can't hold the bowl like this.
That's right.
You can't do that.
See how I'm doing
You wanna
this?
know why? So yes, you can't do that. It won't sing. Don't hold your bowl.
Because so you're vibrating. So what Amanda's reflecting. So you're vibrating from here, right? But if I were to touch it, then that vibration can go down and make the sound. Similar. Does anyone have extra water? I'm afraid I might need that. So something.
You can pour some of mine.
Yeah. So this is what I want you to consider why this works. That's perfect.
My daughter loves this.
Okay. So usually I like when I'm working with children, I ask them, do you know that you have water in your body? And they're like, yeah. And I go, how much? And I don't know, I'm really high right now. Is it 72%? Something like that? I should know, I have a degree in biology. So our cells, we have all these cells in our body, tons of water. We need water to live, right? So here's what happens. I'm going to be shut up and just, can you see it? Now, if you notice, the water goes back to that same calm state it was in beforehand. However, you cannot deny that you saw movement. You cannot deny that the water entrained to the frequency. And that's exactly what happens in our bodies, is our bodies entrain to the frequencies around us. And back in the olden days, before they had all these towers and whatever you want to call it, right? I could get political, I won't, but all these extra sounds, even refrigerator hums, it was quiet. And people were more calm. I think if we think back to like the olden days, like they worked the friggin' tails off, they walked 2 miles uphill both ways, but they were calm. And I think a lot of it goes along with the advancement of our technology.
Agree. Our phones let off frequencies. I feel them. People think I'm crazy, but I am sensitive. There's an EFT sensitive, and I am definitely that. If I hold the phone too long in my hand, my hands feel pain. I don't like to put phones up to my ears because my ears literally have pain, and it started with a BlackBerry years and years and years ago. I mean, think of how old Blackberries are, and I literally remember getting pains like in my ear. It wasn't like holding up to my ear like the outside of my ear. It was like my ear, and then same thing, my hands, I get pains, and I've looked it up. And so even on, not on this one, but on my cell phones, there's actually, on the back of them, you can see there's a little button that's supposed to help with it. I don't know.
It's Shanghai.
Yeah.
And it does. It helps deflect the EMT. I have the same thing on mine.
Yes.
And I feel the same way, right? And so I don't have a television in my trailer, even though it's set up for one, and everyone thinks that I should have one, and it's kind of a nightmare. But I can't even sleep in a room with a television unless I unplug it. Like, for whatever reason, that's what gets me. Like, it really bothers me.
TVs don't bother me. Interesting.
And they, like, to the point where that's why I needed to sleep somewhere other than the house. I couldn't have the TV on in the house. And people I live with, obviously,
crazy. And I felt crazy. Like, I thought I was crazy. I looked it up, and it's actually like a thing. And again, hence they make these sticker things, and this is a real sign, a real thing that other people experience, and so validated.
Very validated. It's even been so much as sometimes I'll do. Sometimes I used to frequently, and now with COVID, I'll say sometimes I'll do events, and they'll be outside, and I always get there like I did today, but way earlier because I need to hear, and I check. Oddly enough, I have a frequency checker because I want to know, is it going to impede what I do? Because if it does, I might plan accordingly. A good example was a CBD event that I did where we had planes going over us. And so I got there early enough to be able to time the planes were going to be every 10 or 15 minutes. And I could adjust, but something like that honestly will take somebody from their deep state of relaxation, and depending on where they're at, I don't want to mess with anyone either.
Yes.
It's hard to find calmness in today's world.
It definitely is. All right, so what are these other instruments? You got more. Okay, but wait, so let me go back to this. So you have to hold your hand open. I'm just going back to this for those of us who are slow. Like, you're all in this and fast because it's your thing. Some of us aren't.
There's
slow.
actually, so you want to greet the ball. You can have it on a rubber mallet, or you can have it with your hand like this. And you can even, if you want to get one, and just greet it. Right there, you're playing a singing ball. That simply could be it until you're comfortable with that. If it's for someone who's not. My suggestion is to, once you greet it, keep your wrist still, right? And just try to rotate the mallet around the bowl. Is that what you were asking?
Doesn't matter which direction.
And you can go both directions. And then when it gets really, really fast like that, then you know that you kind of want to go out.
And leaves her hand open. If she were to close her hand,
It cuts it off.
see. So that also, though, if you did want to cut it off, maybe there was something coming, that would be
Right.
the way to do it.
That would be the way to do it. Exactly. And you can play. So something to actually another to piggyback on is when you have two bowls going at once. Your ears, you want to try to get them to hear the sounds between the sounds, which is what we do with the tuning forks, right? So with the tuning forks, you have two different notes, two different frequencies, and this is a 256. This is a 384. So if I were to play just one, you're hearing that 384. If I play
So light sound.
the other one, 256, and I put them together, you actually want to listen to sound in between, the sound between the sounds. Because it's that 128, the difference between the two frequencies.
So, ladies, can you come over here and can you do that in your ear so that they
love
can?
to.
I would like. So, and if you obviously for our viewers and listeners, you can't hear
Take
and
your
feel
shoes off
this.
if you can.
did.
Yay, they get to take the shoes
So
off.
shoes
I
off, so
did.
feet are grounded is definitely the better way to do it.
Take a deep breath in.
Just beautiful. All right, one more. Beautiful. Look, your water tonight is doing to me. Love it. What is the difference between those and the piece that you have over there? Can I ask? What is
Absolutely,
that?
that's actually a really good question. So these tuning forks, as you saw, I use them around the body.
Okay.
So this is called an auto tuner, and this is used on the body.
What do you mean?
So
What do you mean?
let me
I'm
show you.
kidding.
Okay, so what
Okay.
this will help break up a muscle. It will break up energy, and what you're going to do is it's two different. Yeah, we can do yours. Go ahead, and take off your ring. So,
I don't know about that.
all right,
Oh.
that's okay.
Oh, maybe. Only because I did that recently. Oh.
So go ahead and turn your arm over. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it right there. And so as we're doing this, what's happening is that the healing frequency of 128 hertz is going through her body. And so the cells are trying to go ahead and train to that frequency, right? And usually it's an energy mass. So now this is going to be the cooler part. You thought that was cool, right? I don't use technical terms. I'm one of those stoner tricks. So this is how I'm going to scoop out the energy. Can you feel that?
Yes.
Energy.
So crazy.
So that's the difference. So an auto tuner I use on the body. Now I happen to have known that Amanda didn't have metal in her body and all of her health stuff. It's not like I worked on her without the prior knowledge.
Gotcha. So you wouldn't want to do that if you had metal in your body. So
Right.
my next question was going to be, why did you have me remove my ring?
Right, and that's just it. So because it can react, right? So metal vibrates differently.
Okay.
In the body, it would not be healthy. I have you move the ring because, in my experience, I actually have a funny story with it. Anytime if I were to touch this on your ring, it would obviously ruin that moment of healing.
Okay.
Funny story, since I have time, right? Yeah. So back when I went through sound training, I was in corporate world, right? So I had fake nails, and they were pretty cool. Like I think one had a canvas, thing on it, and I had lots of jewelry. I always wore jewelry, and I think my instructor nearly had a heart attack. Like, you're gonna take off your rings, before you touch my friggin' instruments, take off my rings. And he was very kind. He didn't say friggin', he didn't say fucking, but God, the look in his face was like, oh, and I don't blame him. So since that time, I've had experiences where I have had moments of being like, I can't believe I made that sound. So I no longer wear
I was gonna say,
jewelry.
you don't wear jewelry.
I don't wear jewelry, and I have a ton of it, right? Like, I mean, I've gotten it, but I don't wear. In fact, I started getting tattoos on my hands because I can't stand naked hands, and yeah, I don't even do my nails. It's funny. So that's the medal. Yeah.
I love it. So, and it's so beautiful, and as you mentioned in the beginning, so we've done a few yoga sessions together and also played some music. And when I was with at a yoga class that I think Riley actually hosted at Frankie and
Jude.
thank you. I was like,
That's
yeah.
now by Julia, where I get
So
all my
it's
herbs.
changed,
Oh,
right?
I get all my herbs.
Are they still doing
amazing.
yoga there though too?
No, well, they might in the future. Right now, because Jude has that background, they're an apothecary. Amazing products, by the way. I don't know, but like I'm big on teas, and I stocked up. It was such an amazing deal. And then I think that's an event space for people to rent.
Do they have a CBD tea? Because they should enter into Battle of the Beverages.
That's right.
Just saying. I'm sure they do.
So they should. If not, gosh, I might do that. My CBD tea. I didn't even think about that. I thought that. I'm thinking of the old Battle of the Beverages where people were just given a box.
Yeah, so this CBD, this Battle of the Beverages, since you brought it up. Actually, I think I did.
That's okay. I think Battle of Beverages. It's like one of my favorite
Beverages.
events.
So this year, because of COVID, we had to do it a little bit different. So this year, our hope is to have 16. Sorry. 16 CBD companies competing against each other. They will each have a mixologist representing them. The mixologist will get sent a Battle of the Beverages box that has an apron, a shaker, some glasses, all branded, along with the CBD product that they're supposed to use to make their drink, and then some other goodies as well. So there's going to be some Undo in that box and some other goodies, right? And they will have to make a video that's no longer than 5 minutes, and we have obviously the criteria laid out, making a beverage with said product. They also need to provide the recipe, and they'll be judged on things like presentation, since we obviously can't taste them. Now the cool thing is that if you want to taste the drink in its all actuality, you can, because these are CBD products. So you can go buy them and then make the drink. So recipes will be available. It's a fundraiser, so people can vote once a day. Any additional votes so you can pay $10 extra, and it's a donation, and get 10 extra votes towards your favorite drink.
Ooh.
So all that money goes to the nonprofits, and we're donating money this year to Dr. Sue Sicily again, Zonka Miles, and Minorities for Medical Marijuana. So we have 3 nonprofits, and we have a larger goal this year than we did last year, although being honest, it's COVID, so who knows if we'll reach it. The fundraising goal, yeah, it's just harder. And again, even being a not in-person event, it's obviously not the way that we'd like it. I want to taste all of the creations, but we're just not able to do it in that capacity. So we switch it up, but so it'll be rapid style. 16 will start. The second week it'll be 8. The week after that it'll be 4, and the final week will be 2 against, or the final 2.
Wow.
So yeah. So we're really.
And how do they sign up? Like, what are we
Oh,
doing?
you're such a good question. I would have totally forgot to tell people, Meredith. Thank you.
This actually wasn't planned. I just know Amanda well.
So you go to www.battleofthebeverages.com and you can sign up to be a sponsor. And we're looking for
I'm a
all
sponsor.
types of sponsors. Yes.
I've done my paperwork.
Yeah, so we're looking for sponsors for our prizes and giveaways that we're going to be doing. We're looking for CBD sponsors. We're looking for a main sponsor. It's super affordable, and it's a national competition. So if you're a CBD company anywhere in the United States, you can enter. We've had companies that already have like a CBD drink, and they're like, can we enter? We already have a drink. And it's like, yes, because then you make a drink out of that drink. Like you use that that's one of your main ingredients for said, cannabis mocktail. So we're really, really excited. We're hoping it goes as planned, but yeah, so we have, I want to say about a third of our competitors signed up right now.
That's really good. It
Yeah.
just rolled out. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're really, really excited. So we're thankful and in the space that we are, and really, the Bud Card is just trying to give back. So we're also obviously this week coming up is National Expungement Week. So just as a reminder to anyone who's watching, we want to support. So obviously the easiest thing to do is go like their social media pages, which is Arizona Expungement Week. I think it's actually AZ, but if you type it in, it'll pop up, and then just Expungement Week. But really, further than that is to reach out to them and see how you can get involved and help. whether it's calling places and letting them know that this is happening, that work with those that are being released, whether it is handing out flyers, whether it's coming to the event. There's all different things that you can do, and just even sharing the flyers and stuff helps get the word out. So a lot of people don't know.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Recently, a friend of mine, Amy, was telling me, because, it's COVID, people who are staying home that are looking to take care of themselves are looking for ways to keep their time busy, right? And so one of the things she's doing is writing prisoners who are in there for cannabis-related events. I could not believe, I was like, send me the name of someone. She's like, no, I'll send you the website. And then she sent me the website, and I was so overwhelmed at how many people are in jail for such a long time for strictly doing what, one, legally I can do by the state, not by the federal, but two, just like, wow, thank you, universe, for not having that happen to me, because I'm not going to say I'm any better than any of them. I could be there
since I was 14.
12.
So it's like, how do you how do we say, no one is, you're not a criminal if you use drugs. I mean, we've criminalized plants and medicine, and we've definitely criminalized drugs, and again, we have this hole in our system, and it goes back to why we need all this holistic healing, is because, most of the time when you use, anything, abundantly or to a negative, excess, it's because you're trying to fill something else. So I think that's part of it is, and again, we live in this world where currently filling it is supposed to be with stuff, but not everybody can get stuff. And then there's other ways that you can fill it, but again, not everyone can get those, right? And so it's just like, what then do you fill it with?
And does stuff really fill it? Like, let's be real. I filled my life with stuff.
Which is why there's plenty of people with stuff that use drugs or kill themselves, which is why we have actors and actresses who are, famous and have tons of money who commit suicide, because that doesn't fill it. But again, we have to reach, again, I think, just deep and figure that out. I mean, I'm just all about, again, trying to self-reflect and figure shit out. Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable, right?
That's why I like you, Meredith.
But it's uncomfortable. It's not pretty to sit there and, like, I've had some moments the past 7 months, like, someone might be listening and be like, yeah, she freaking freaked out of my life. Yeah, like, I've had moments where I've been like, oh my God, like, I realize my behavior is due to a pattern that I need to physically change, and that's not always an easy thing. Like, we have patterns that are very comfortable, right? I like to be the nice guy. Like, I was the mean guy for work for a long time, so I love being the nice guy. But let's be real, being the nice guy isn't good for me always. Like, you need boundaries, and so there are times that, I think it's so important for people to have that uncomfortableness. And sometimes another thing I do is life coaching and guiding people through that time, because some people don't even know where to begin with that. Like, who want to improve. So how do I improve? Like, what do I do? And they just don't know what to do. And then they're going online like, all right, what are they doing on Instagram to improve?
So how do people find you, Meredith? What is the name of your business? How do people find you? What services specifically do you offer?
Ooh,
sorry, I should have asked these things at the beginning. I'm a very bad host tonight. We're such good friends. We've just been chatting like, I just figured they knew.
And meanwhile, I'm like, so Amanda, how long do we talk? It's probably going to end soon.
No, we got another 20 minutes.
Okay, so I am Root to Leaf Holistic Healing. And so I'm sure you can click on, my name is the same as my website. So it's Instagram, it's website. Bong and Gongs is my medicated version. And I do have a medicated website as well, but it's basically the same. It's just showing, hey, guess what? I have a bong next to my gong in that site. So that's really all it is. And all of it is legit. I'm certified, registered, insured. But I'm a life coach. So I work with people one-on-one, generally with life coaching. I do a free consultation because I can't necessarily help everyone. Like, a person has to be at a level of commitment where I can help, and so that's discussed. And if so, then I work with those clients monthly. I instruct yoga, one-on-one, and groups. Get with me on groups, because that's a little bit depends on right now how we do that. But I do actually have, I think, a retreat coming in December. So I'm big on retreats. That's my jam.
Is it an all-women's one?
It isn't, but we need to do an all-women's one. I know.
Right.
No, we need to work on that. Okay. All right, big time. I'm a Reiki master, so I do all types of Reiki and work with people on it. I love to incorporate chakra healings with my Reiki, different crystals, and sound, of course, right? It was her birthday this week, by the way.
It was.
You know, and then I'm trained in tuning forks. So that's a specialization that is a way of working with energy, right? It's all Reiki, really.
And you say like you're trained, so again, you didn't just wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm gonna go buy some tuning forks and talk,
didn't.
you know, and think I know. I mean, I just bought
No,
this.
a lot
Like,
of
I'm not
no,
trained
no.
in this,
Well,
right?
that's why I do make that distinction, because there was a part of my life where, yeah, like I love to just say I played with it, but
For
no,
sure.
everything I felt that if I was going to do this for a living, like I took a certification in tuning forks, I took a certification in sound, I've taken many
If
certifications in
you're
yoga.
going to charge people, I do feel like it's good to have some type
Yeah,
of
I'm even insured. Like, what if
some
someone,
type of,
you know, I've had people walk out, you know, then I'll be honest for you, like, what brings you to tears? Some people are like, oh, they think it's awful, right?
Yeah.
And that's because they're not ready for that.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, I'm insured because, God forbid, someone were to go and say I caused them some kind of anguish. Like, that's
Yeah.
something as, to me, a healer, like, you need to have that coverage as well, right?
for sure.
So yeah, I think is that everything oh wait, I'm recently, woohoo!
Yeah,
I took a 3-day class with Andrew Ecker, who's phenomenal. If you ever see his name pop up in the valley, definitely check him out. He's drumming sounds. And so now I'm leading drum circles. And that's going to be part of December 5th and 6th, right? So like everyone brings their drums, and I have a bunch of different percussion instruments. And that I think is so phenomenal, because that kind of goes into the whole holistic part of it. You know, is people come to drum circles for more than what you would think. Like, some people come for the community. Some people come to bang out their friggin' aggression. Other people come because that's where they feel comfortable and they don't know why, you know. And it's for everyone. And so yeah.
Cool. Drum circles.
Yeah.
So cool.
I know, I have a fun time. Huh?
I love it. Yes. Well, and I think again this idea of connecting with ourselves and figuring out, and you know, you don't have to like everything either. You know, you might try different things and figure out like, oh, I like this, I don't like this. I like having Meredith as a friend because she brings her cool instruments to my house, and I can figure out what I like and don't like. It's so cool. So I now actually have a sound bowl or two, and a broken one. That one's okay.
We've gone shopping.
Yes.
That's a lot of fun.
And I have a tongue drum, so
and we have matching
and
tongue
you
drums.
have a tongue drum.
I have several.
Yes. See, instruments in there. I thought you had to like be a master of things, but you don't. Are you handling this to me
I
so
am.
I can
thought,
actually
why not?
play?
Why, you might as well play your tongue.
Do I? I'm gonna greet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you greeted, but you're different than me, right?
Yeah, I don't always greet, and sometimes I do. It's just kind of just depends, right?
So if you don't greet, it's okay.
Yeah, you don't have to greet. It'll still go. You just gotta. And what you aren't seeing tonight is I usually have a bunch of different bowls of mallets, and some mallets to others. But yeah, you can. With that one, you can just sing it, and it'll start.
I was trying to get the water going. I need to.
There you go.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, baby.
So cool. My daughter Kenyatta, whose birthday is Friday, she turns 23. She was all excited when I showed her these, and she was like, "Go put water in them," and I was like, "Okay." And she was the one who actually showed me, and she was so excited to see it.
Yeah, I actually had a good friend today send me a clip of someone with water. I'm like, that's exactly how we teach kids about it. Right? Because it's that whole concept. Did you ladies want to try?
Yes.
You want to try this?
Come
I want to
try.
see the water one so bad.
Yes,
Yeah.
come try.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you can't see it because you're on the camera, but inside
That's
the
right,
water,
on camera.
the bowl is actually vibrating. So I'm gonna bring
You can do it.
I'm gonna bring the cameras closer.
So do
We're
this
actually,
with your hand.
we'll bring this one
And then
closer.
like that.
Can I fill it with more?
Yeah.
Just tell me when. Just teach me one more time.
Right like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, exactly. And then you want to
literally watch the ASMR videos
Yeah.
of this
And
where
then
there's
keep your wrist
flower
and try
petals
to
in
keep
it.
it back.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
resonates.
That's exactly.
No, you're good.
And you can't.
I have a bad wrist
you
too.
gotta
It
hold the
doesn't.
camera.
Just be gentle. So we are learning here. We love learning on the Bud Show. Go all, yeah, just keep going around and around.
Yeah, you just
Do I
keep
hit
going.
it again or does it
Yeah, just keep going around. Kind of press against it a little bit.
press it?
Yeah, don't be scared. She's afraid she's gonna hurt it. She's not gonna hurt it. Yeah, kind of like press hard against the edges. Yes.
There you
Yes.
You
Did
feel
you
that?
see it?
Yes.
I don't know if you can
I
see it
didn't
on the
grab your
camera,
hands.
everyone. But the bowl, the water is moving. Harder. Harder on the
I was like, I can't.
No, do it here, watch.
Is there off the thing?
go. And maybe hold it a little. Hold it right. See that?
Here.
This is so different. I've never had
So,
it here.
Yep.
again, totally suggest that you all try this at home. How cool.
It's so quiet because my energy's so quiet.
Okay. I'm gonna switch these for you. Watch. See if that makes a difference.
And if you're gonna buy a bowl, make sure that you try your bowl first, if possible, because you don't want to get sold a bunk bowl. I almost did. Meredith
And that
did.
is something I will, people have hired me to help you with. Like if you have a bowl or you have something you're looking for, I can help you find that.
Yeah, I need practice.
You've got it.
So,
little
I'm
slowly.
just starting with my energy.
There you go. There
Oh,
you
I
go.
feel it.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
I was
I feel that.
rushing.
It's
You're
so
right.
cool. What else do you rush, Donna?
A lot of stuff.
So see, that's why it's good for you to meditate,
Slow.
right?
You're right.
Take a deep breath in and just kind of
And press, right? Like you gotta
Make
push
love
a little
to
bit
the
of
bowl.
pressure.
Make love
Like
to
I'm gonna
the
steal it from you.
Right.
And again, you want you're definitely putting some pressure on.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't letting it in. Okay.
She does it better. She just doesn't move her.
Oh, I spent 5 minutes. I was very fortunate. For a whole year, I basically woke up every morning and went into this room and played my instruments.
That's all you did.
See why.
Yeah.
Not like all, but
Not all, but it was a lot. Like I came down for events, I think. I was living up north with my boyfriend who was fantastic, and yeah, it was fun.
it's so cool.
That is cool.
So if you have a membership to the Bud card, just so that you know, you can save on Meredith services. I'm pretty sure premium members save 25%, and I want to say our basic is 15, but I could be wrong. It could be
you're
10,
right.
but I think it's 15. So platinum members also get 25%. And again, as Meredith mentioned, she can help you with all types of. You don't want it again? She can help you with all types of different services, whether it's the Reiki or the music or yoga or any of these amazing ways to do holistic healing. Meredith can help you. And so I think that's really cool that you're this jack of all trades when it comes to holistic healing. I think that's awesome. And I also think it's important to have someone to kind of go on this journey with you. Again, like when I went to go get my first bowl, I was nervous and I thought I knew what I was doing. I almost didn't even want you, like I didn't want to ask. You totally offered, and she's like, I'll come with you. And I was like, really? Thanks. And again, thank God she did, because the lady was only 2 bunk bowls. But I did get a baby bowl out of it that was totally worth it and so cute. I should have brought her tonight. And even in doing that in our friendship, again, we've come together and just played. I am in tonight as I just love, to be around you and feel that energy. And I think it's important to, again, surround yourself with people that are like-minded of where you want to go if it's not where you are right now. So again, if you want to do holistic healing, find people who do holistic healing and surround yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
I 100%. And I think that goes with anything in life, right?
Yes.
Like, surround yourself. That just actually came up in a mentoring session I was having this week with someone. They were mentoring me. Surround yourself with what you want. Like, that's how you get it,
Yes.
That's why I surround myself with lovely ladies like you. Like, I want to continue to be a rockin' lady, so.
Yes. Yes.
Like, it's true.
Yeah.
Like, you're laughing, but you're part of that. Like,
Yes.
going down a skyway. It's just these women mean so much in my life. And a can of sewer radio, another amazing woman that's doing the same thing you're doing.
Yeah.
And she's in Mexico and then she's got her own clothing line. Like, There's just so many
There's
great
so-
women in this industry that want to work and help people.
Yes.
So
There's two behind our cameras tonight that I want to
Can
give
we
a
show
big
them?
shout out and
Like-
thanks to them. Well, they've been on. They've been
Yeah,
on.
okay.
They've been on.
I just want to show y'all off. This is
So
great.
we have Irene, aka Canna Kitty, right? Canna Kitty Paint, right? Okay. Like I'm gonna make sure I'm always messing things up. And then we have Miss Donna with the Etiquette Crew, aka Muffy D, and just super appreciate the ladies behind the scene. Why you guys?
I didn't know she was
Well, you got this stuff right? So yeah, we are almost wrapping up the show this evening, but I do want to say thank you. We have a couple more minutes. Do you want to take just one more minute or two and play another?
Want to do the gong?
Yeah,
That'd be really nice.
Yes, I
Okay.
do want you to do the gong, please. We are going to turn towards the gong. And just Meredith, when that says we got about 4 minutes, when that says 8:08, we need to wrap it up. You make me cry again. And I'm crying. Oh, thank you. That was so beautiful. Does everyone in the room agree with me?
Yes.
I'm like, am I the only one who got that? No one else was running from the room, so I think that says a lot. Oh, I love it. Well, I enjoy your company, and I appreciate you coming on this evening in the midst of the craziness of the world and educating us about what you do and a little bit about holistic healing and how we can maybe tap into that a little bit. I also want to say, while that was going, these were going, so like everything is vibrating, like you can tell, and it's just interesting how even over here they were feeling that. And you know, obviously I was too, but interesting how the other instruments feel each other, right? It's just beautiful.
This is wonderful. Thank you for having me, and thank you. You ladies are incredible.
You're incredible.
Yes, we have amazing women behind the scene. We want to give a big shout out again to them. A shout out to Support District Radio for having us in-house at the studio tonight. Thank you so much. a big shout out to you. One more time, where can they find you?
RootToLeafHolisticHealing.com, or if that's hard to remember, Bong and Gongs.
Perfect. And we invite you to come back next week and watch the Bud Show. We have, I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, Daria from True Meds, who is also known as D-Money, who's going to be coming in, and we're going to be talking about cannabis. We're going to be talking about different ways to medicate and how it affects different people. We're going to be talking about his new song that he's got dropping. So really excited to learn more about like that aspect. He's a bud tender in the industry, so we get to hear a little bit more from that view, and plus to meet an artist. So super excited for next week. And in general, we just have a lot of great guests coming up, so stay tuned. And don't forget, next week is National Expungement Week. That's it. Have a great night, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.